Saturday, 24th of May, 2025 at 12:01 p.m. here in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your Dev and Design podcast featuring two lovely little card players playing their cards in the realm of astrology, whatever that means. I am your designer, Jake. He is your engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
So, yeah. Well, cycle, what are we at? 88. We're getting very close to what we said was our self-imposed deadline.
How are we feeling about that?
I don't know. It's not great. But you know what? We're going to get something done. And I'm tired of just talking about not doing stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Too. We'll just do it.
That's one of the good things about these check-ins, actually, is that it also motivates us.
Yeah. Motivates us to get it done because it needs to get done.
It needs to get done.
Eventually, it needs to get done.
Yeah.
We're a little crispy today. Why not? Because we're dealing out the cards. It's my check-in question today. We're going to talk not only about the moment cards that are all wired up. Mr. Henry's going to talk about those, but we'll also talk about chart cards. I think Mr. Henry will also show those, but we'll talk about them together. But of course, before we get to, and then of course we'll give you thanks because that's what we do. But before we get to all that, it is of course time for your check-in question.
Oh my God. I have not seen this or seen it, heard it. I've not experienced it in any fashion. None of my senses have come into play for this question.
This has not been tasted. Here we go. What's your favorite card game?
Assuming a shared understanding of the word game. And so we are actually excluding like various forms of cardomancy that are kind of on the border. We just started playing Contract Bridge with some friends of ours. And I really enjoy that game. But I don't think I've had enough time with it in order to say like it is my favorite. So I'm going to go with my backup, which is really just like right now at this moment, is Three-Handed Spades. Three-Handed Spades is an absolutely fantastic game because you bid for a hand, which is called the dummy hand. So it's three players, but you deal out four hands. And somebody's going to get an extra hand that they can play, but it's turned face up for the entire table so everybody can see it. And it's just, there's layers to it. It's complex. It does require a little bit of paying attention to what cards have been played, but not so much that my like Swiss cheese brain is unable to play the game well. And it's just a really fantastic game. But I will say, going back to the point on bridge, Contract Bridge, is that I think the things that I really enjoy about Three-Handed Spades are actually in Contract Bridge and done better. But like I said, we haven't really had enough time with it to get to that. Anyway, so Jake, what is your favorite card game?
Well, thank you, Trey. I love Contract Bridge. I will say, though, my favorite game, I mean, other than the ones that I invented, of course, because the ones that I've invented are by far superior to all of these, but we're not selling my games today. I would say that Spite and Malice is my favorite game, which we, of course, play as a family called Escalateur. It's a wonderful game where essentially what you do is you get a random variable set of cards in your hand. So anywhere between 1 to 13 cards. You have to bid on the number of those sets of cards you'll take home, which are called tricks. The tricks in the hand cannot equal the tricks in everyone's points. So somebody receives the spite and the malice from all of that. And if you don't make your bid exactly, you don't get the points. It's a lot of fun. We made a lot of house rules about it.
Yeah.
And it's really an enjoyable game. It's a little long, but you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind a little bit of a little concentration. Why not? People can concentrate. It's okay. We don't have to be a society that everything has to be immediate,
It's slow living, everybody.
Slow living.
Calm down.
Slow living. Calm it down.
Yes, Escalator, absolutely an amazing game. I want to clarify that my answer was, I made the assumption that it was a standard deck of playing cards. So I was excluding games that you made because otherwise I would probably put, what's Low-Hi called now?
We have a registered trademark that is pending.
Oh, that is pending, so we're not going to say
it. There is a game called Low-Hi that is now going to be renamed something else.
Yes, and that Jake invented. It is a trick-taking game and it is absolutely fantastic.
It's
and
a
it is
banger.
way up there on my list of
Yeah.
favorite games. But I was going just off of like standard playing cards.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm saying Spite and Malice.
Yeah, great game.
Good checking, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what this cycle is all about. We talked a little bit that in the beginning that this was all about cards. So you will see stuff around what's called the moment card. We've showed this before in design. It's not been wired up. Now we have all the wiring, so Trey's going to show that. And then we'll start showing a little bit of the chart card, which has a much nicer kind of complete design to it. So Mr. Henry, I think then we can probably go to your screen and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. We showed a bunch of this already, where you can change the location, you can change the date time, and all of this stuff is wired up and works. One thing that wasn't working in the last demo video was that now was not updating. It wasn't changing. So for example, if I switch this now to an event type, you could see that the time changes to the standard time, or without the seconds anyway. It's no longer updating as well. And then, we already, like I said, demoed, location change and like all of this stuff. So all of that stuff still works the same. But now I can actually change this back into a now moment, and it will start updating again. Part of doing this, though, also, I think, kind of leveled both of us up really in how to compose our React components and how to design them in such a way that they're both testable and we can put them in Storybook well, but then also so they're like well componentized.
I think what we learned this cycle then is really around how to best structure things such as React components, and then how the stories can be structured around those things so that we're doing things in a much more sane and I guess scalable manner. So like as these things become more complex, we start adding complexity, and that complexity can more easily be managed than what we were doing before, because we're learning this stuff. This is our second platform. We're not moving to another one. I'm sorry about that. And no re-rolling the game of life. And we are learning and growing through this process. So while there isn't a lot of things that you can see that are visible here, there's just a lot of wiring that had happened.
And learning that came from that too, because we just aligned ourselves, I think, a little bit better with kind of how the ecosystem wants you to do things.
Yeah. We like doing things the way that the ecosystem likes you to do.
Yeah, it feels better.
All right, now let's start showing a little bit of the header refactor, if you would.
Yeah. So this is going to be a really quick one, but just in that category of things that we learned, we originally had, we've shown this header a couple of times, and the header is, editable, as we have shown before. Whoops, as we have shown before. But now the header itself it's called editable header, and it's very generic. You could use it for all kinds of different things. And then it has these variants which actually show it with various different states, including, the download available state. And so if I show that as kind of an individual thing in the page, then you can see that update. And the values are now based purely on just that variant. So here with save status, we just have the save status. With download available, we just have whether or not that's shown. And in the primary case, it's just simply a title that you can edit. And so this is kind of like how did I put it? We better align ourselves with the way that the ecosystem wants you to do things.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just cool. I like it.
Nice. How about the chart cards?
Yeah.
Probably the biggest visual change that had been made. So we can show one of the chart cards here, but what I am more interested in is seeing all of the chart cards together. And so Trey can click on that multiple chart cards. Yes. And then actually, can you pop this out into its own thing?
Woo.
There you go. All right. So the great thing here now is that there are hover states on these things, which you showed before. But now on the hover states, we will reveal a checkbox. Ooh. And if you check it, it will maintain that hover state, even if you go off of it now. And so allows you to do what's called in OOUX batchable actions or multi-object actions. And you can say, for example, I want each of these charts, blah, blah, blah. And then you could say, I would like to archive these. That would be like the CTA. We don't have that CTA yet. But what I wanted to show was a little bit of like now how we can pop open that little checkbox thing. And of course, not only we've shown this before, but like not only is it done in stellar dark, but also in the simple dark and the simple light and the stellar light case as well. We won't have to. You don't have to show those cases. That's okay.
Well, let's just look at light because I think it just looks really nice.
Yeah. Okay. I always feel like light's a little bit washed out, but we'll just have to work on it as we work.
You know what we should start doing is we should start demoing in light first and then switching to dark, because I feel like it only feels washed out in comparison to dark, because dark always has.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. The background, there's no background for this as well. There's a lot that needs to be done. There's just a lot that needs to be done.
But it still looks really good.
It still looks really good. But we're going to get there eventually. But I'm just very happy with how those chart cards turned out. I think there's a little bit of an accessibility issue with respect to the colors and the contrast of things, but that's okay. We'll get through all of that stuff.
Oh, I'm expanding the size.
You're making them big.
I'm making them big. Look at how good they look, even on giant Duplo mode.
Look at the Chunko mode.
Oh yeah, we have the background issue still.
Well, that's a ticket still.
But look at that
little Chunko mode.
Also, can we just take a moment to really appreciate the amazing animation stuff that Jake did here? Yeah. It's so smooth. It's like how the checkbox appears, how the card just kind of the whole thing highlights beautifully.
Also, if you click on the dates now, it won't edit any longer.
Oh, nice. You fixed that. Very cool. Yeah. Good. Nice. I love this too. Our last opened.
Yeah.
Because it'll be probably ordered by that in the initial.
Exactly. You always want to order by the thing that you've opened most recently. That's what I've learned from the thing here. What have I learned about sorting? The default sorting should never be alphabetical, but always seems to be alphabetical. Never ever do alphabetical.
Yeah, no, it's always the wrong answer.
This is even true in like the Windows Explorer or Finder. Like, why do we do alphabetical by file name? I think we should default to last opened. That's my petition to the world. Like, the last thing you touch should be the thing that's at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I would also just say that when if you have a list of things in the software that you're building and you're working on a default ordering, do OOUX, like go through the process of figuring out like what is probably the most important thing and like think through it instead of just saying like, oh, well, we have, created date or we have name.
Well, we didn't actually add created date until we thought through like how people were going to use the software. And then we said, oh, we're missing that. Like we need a created date or we need a last opened date.
Right.
Because that's the thing that we think will be the default sort.
Yeah.
Like Trey said, if you think through it, then you usually make better design decisions.
Yeah. Surprise.
So that's the way things work. Because regardless of whether you think through it or not, you are designing.
Yes. That's one way or another, you are designing.
One way or the other, you are designing. Mr. Henry, on this beautiful day, now that we are in Gemini, happy Gemini season to you.
Yeah.
What should the good viewer do?
Play a card game.
Buy one of mine. You can't, they're not for sale right now, but once they are, you should buy them. Because who knows when you're going to watch this video? You might watch this well into the future after we've made millions, nay, billions of dollars. And you'd be like, wow, that guy... I wanted to learn how he did it all the way when he was a dirty hippie. And
we are going to make it
before he was a dirty capitalist.
We're going to make it easier to buy Cosmic than Jake's card games.
Yeah, but we are also going to make it easier to buy Jake's card games later.
Yeah.
Be well, take care. Thank you so very much for watching this beautiful Saturday or whatever day you watched. We hope you have a lovely weekend or a lovely week, or a lovely 2028. Whenever you watch this video, we love you very much. Take care. Go buy my card game. It's a 2028. Goodbye.
Bye.